Hello everyone, today class completely based on the control system, a very important part for the gate examination view and the other system. Now in this chapter we will study about system analysis, how we analyze a system. So we have two methods to analyze the system. First one is the classical method, is also known as the transfer function method, and second one is the state variable method. In classical transfer method, these methods are only applicable for the LTI system. LTI system means linear time invariant system, a system whose property or linearity will never change according with the time. That system is known as the LTI system. In LTI system, when the system is LTI and we want to find the transfer function of that function system, we have many functions or method like root locus, Bode plot, polar plot, Nyquist, and many more. These are the method to use to find the transfer function of the LTI system. But just imagine when the system is not LTI system, the system is time variant. In that case, what we will use? In that case, these method will go fail. So to find the transfer function of a time variant method, we will have a method known as the state variable method. So firstly, we will see what is the limitation of the classical or transfer function method. Now here is some point. What is the limitation of classical method? The first point, as we have discussed, it is only valid for the LTI system. If the system is time variant, then this method will not work. Second point is that this method will work only when we assume that all the initial condition for the internal state is 0. Means when we deal with the linear time invariant system, we assume that all the initial condition is 0. Then we will execute that and try to find the transfer function. Third point is that as we already assume that all the initial condition for the internal state is 0, so this method is never describe the internal state of the system, because we already assume that all the initial condition for the internal state of the system is 0. Means what is the internal state of a particular system at any point t, we never describe in the LTI system or by using this method. And now the fourth point is that this method gives only 0 state response, because we assume that all the condition is 0. So these are the some limitation of that. Now we will see what is the advantages of state variable method. Now we have some certain points which describe what is the advantages of state variable method. So what is the limitation of the classic method? Whatever point that will remove that kind of the limitation, that will become the advantage of state variable method. So the first point is that it is valid for linear, non-linear, time invariant and time variant. Whatever system it is, this method is applicable for all type of the system. Second point is that it is valid for SISO and MIMO. SISO means single input, single output. If we have a multiple input, then we get the multiple output. If we have these kind of the system, this method is also applicable for that. Third point is that this method describes all the initial condition for internal state of the system. This is the biggest advantages of the state variable method, and this is the biggest limitation of the classical method, because in classical method we never describe the internal state or the conditions, but in the state variable method it describes the initial condition for internal state of the system. Now in classical method, the method only gives the 0 state response, but in state variable method it provides both 0 input response and 0 state response. Means when we using a state variable method for a time variant system, when we have to find the total response, that will be equal to 0 input response and 0 state response. This is the complete introduction